Toby's my friend.
What about me?
I like Ziad Hubala as
The
well.
world will never
Oh,
know the
cool.
answer to that. Shoot, truth, and lie. So we're gonna start off with just a bit of quick takes on some big NBA news. So the biggest story this week was kind of a shocker to everyone, but the Nuggets fired Mike Malone, the championship-winning coach.
Crazy.
Just a few years ago, he got fired seemingly out of nowhere. They fired him, and they fired their GM. So Toby, you want to start? What are some of your thoughts on this firing?
Yeah. Really, I think I was kind of surprised by it, honestly, because I was seeing stuff like probably the day before the firing, talking a lot about how the players were kind of tuning Mike Malone out, and he went off I think it was the night before he got fired in a press conference, talking about how a lot of the players weren't watching film, they weren't taking workouts seriously and stuff like that. So I kind of suspected that something was going on there. I didn't think that they would go and fire a coach a week before playoffs, but they might be trusting in their assistant. I'm not really sure who the interim. Do any of y'all know who the interim coach is right now?
No clue.
Okay, yeah, I'm not really sure what they have going on with their coaching situation and how that's really going to go into playoffs. But I'm interested to see they play a scorching hot Clippers team coming into round one, so it's going to be very interesting to watch.
Great, Jack. What are your thoughts on the firing? Do you think it's a smart move?
My thoughts? I think it's a really dumb move. I mean, Michael Malone's been there for, 10 years? And I think he's a scapegoat, personally. I mean, Calvin Booth, being fired, or, I don't think they fired him. Didn't they say they were going to, just, not, re-sign him at the end of the season? That I
thought he
get,
got
because
fired.
Calvin, I read two different reports, but he probably did get fired. But Calvin Booth fucking sucks. Oh,
You
sorry.
can swear.
Should I cuss
Just say
on
it the
this?
radio.
Hey, man, do whatever you want, bro.
Oh, okay. Calvin Booth fucking sucks, all right? He was a really bad GM, and I get why he was being fired. I don't really understand Mike Malone being fired. I mean, Calvin Booth can't build a team, all right? I mean, he's focused on developing young players right now when they have a championship window. You shouldn't be focused on developing Peyton fucking Watson. Let's be real with each other. Peyton Watson's a good ball player, right? He's not your future 3. Christian Brown is not your future 2. Stop developing your young talent.
Jaden
Build a better
Pickett,
roster around Nikola. Yeah, build a better roster around Jokic, that kind of thing. I get why he's gone. I still don't understand why Michael Malone is gone. I don't get it. I personally don't get it. I think he's like a top 7 coach in the NBA. I don't get it. I just don't understand also on a more broader term, like a broader scale, why NBA coaches, they get fired so quickly. They just move around like free agents. I don't get that. I don't understand that in the NBA. It makes no sense to me. Why is Coach Bud on his 3rd team in 3 years? That's a damn good coach.
We just talked about
That's
that
Pod
on
01 for the
Foospod
whole
last week.
segment.
Yeah, he's a disciple of Popovich. You should keep him long term in whatever team you're in. I don't know. It makes no sense to me. I don't know. It's like we get rid of these really good coaches for proven average coaches. Why does Doc Rivers still have a job? Why is Doc Rivers replacing Mike Budenholzer? I don't know. I don't know. I should relax, but I don't agree with Michael Malone being fired. I think it's stupid. I think he should have been in Denver for the rest of his career. I mean, he built a winning culture there. You just won a championship 2 years ago. It's okay. I'm good. I'm cool. Let's move on.
It's okay.
Definitely, I think it's kind of ironic, especially since we recorded an episode last week about coaches being scapegoats, and then 2 days later, Malone was fired seemingly as a scapegoat. So Ziad or
Yeah, Taylor Jenkins. I'm sorry. But why was
Nah.
Taylor Jenkins fired? I don't get that one either. Taylor Jenkins is a damn good coach.
The Taylor Jenkins thing, they supposedly were really heavy on their assistant coach. They were really, really they really favored him. And
I don't give a shit, damn or fuck. It was a week and a half before playoffs.
it was bad timing. It was bad timing, definitely. But the coach that they fired for Taylor, or the coach that they fired Taylor Jenkins for, is a proven good coach. I think he had coached, I think it was France in FIBA, and he did a really good job. He did a really good job.
I still would wait until the end of the season. I don't know.
I would wait till the end of
No,
season
no.
2. I'm just saying, the coach they had a plan with Taylor Jenkins and all that. I think that was less of a scapegoat thing, more of their star player being very frustrated with his role under Taylor Jenkins, and they were trying to just appease
And-
that.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit last week. We mentioned how not successful, they didn't win anything, obviously, but the Grizzlies, they definitely were winning games, more games than they should have during their kind of retooling period. Like, what are we doing? You have a coach that stuck with you through it all. You got a really good record. You're in the playoff spot in the West. Why are we firing him? That's a whole conversation we've had. But yeah, back to Michael Malone. It doesn't make sense. We're at the end of the year. Like, he got fired, 3-4 games before the end of the season?
3 games.
And you bring in a interim coach. You have an interim coach going into the playoffs. And, you don't know if he has the locker room won over. You don't know all these things. You're putting a lot of faith really in, like, a brand new coach. And like what Jack said, he's probably about to get replaced by, like, Monty Williams next year. So it's like, it doesn't really matter. So, I mean, that's all I really have to say about it.
Why is Monty Williams always the guy that replaces the scapegoat?
Him and Doc Rivers.
I just don't get like he.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Like it's kind of ridiculous.
Cheap and easy. He's kind of like the Little Caesars of the NBA.
Yeah.
Cheap, easy. I mean, it doesn't taste the best, but I mean, hey, he can carry you through the day. So.
He didn't carry the Pistons last year.
Couldn't carry the Suns to a championship.
Nah, but that Suns team did do a lot though.
They
That
did.
Suns team was good.
They won like 60 games.
But
They won 60 games.
At least they made the finals, though.
They did.
Yeah. I'll give them that.
Yeah. But
They did kind of have like a little Cinderella run. Kind of got a little lucky with a few teams and injuries and stuff like that. But I'm not mad at it. I like the Suns. Big Devin Booker fan. So.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna fire a coach this late in the season, you gotta have a contingency. Like, at least with the Grizzlies, they had somebody they believed in. Tomas, however say his name. They at least had somebody that they thought was going to be like the next big thing. And, that people were going to go after in the offseason. But with the Nuggets, you just fired a championship caliber coach. Like Jack said, possible top 7 coach, probably. And you don't really have contingency as of right now is what it seems like. And you have a lot of faith in your interim head coach, David Adelman. You don't know anything yet, and you're just wasting a year of your elite players. You're wasting a year of Jokic. You're wasting a year of Jamal Murray. You're wasting a year of Michael Porter Jr. And how long you're gonna be able to keep this team together? It's like you're making all these changes for no reason, and they're all really rash and too quick. So just make it make sense.
Great. K2, before we move on to the next segment, what are your thoughts on his firing? Good move or no?
Honestly, this really just is going to sound like I'm rehashing a lot of my points from last week, honestly. I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand. If you have problems with a guy like Michael Malone, wait. The playoffs are next week. Wait. You can wait until the playoffs. You can wait till after the playoffs. It doesn't matter. Y'all could get eliminated, and then the next day call them into the office like, "Hey, Mike, we love what you did for the franchise. Gotta go, big dog. My fault, bro." So it's like when you have an organization that for years you have one of the best offensive players probably in NBA history, and you failed to build a real team around him year in and year out, despite winning a championship 2 years ago. The best player he's played with in his tenure as a solidified top 5 guy is Jamal Murray. No hate to Jamal Murray, but he's not really as consistent as you would expect from a number 2 option. And when you look at Michael Malone with his tenure on the Nuggets, he was 471 and 327, right? I believe that's a 59% win percentage for a guy like Michael Malone. So it's not like Michael Malone is the best coach in the NBA, and this is like a fireable offense, like sell the team offense. But at the same time, it's like he is one of the better coaches in the NBA. In terms of straight up just rotations and adjustments and overall coaching, things like that, play calling, such and such and such and such. But this just proves that the Nuggets, maybe they're finally taking the fact that Jokic is in his prime seriously. Maybe they're looking to go in an upward trending direction. Maybe they want to hire a younger coach who has more imaginative, coaching skills, play calling skills, etc. And so, also when I look at them firing Calvin Booth, that kind of, reinforces that idea to me, because I know they won a championship 2 years ago, but this team hasn't really been living up to expectations every year. I mean, they just lost to the Timberwolves last year. The year before is when they won the championship, and then years before, it's constant playoff losses, upsets, etc. While Jokic has historic seasons and historic playoff runs. So overall, I don't understand the decision to do it so close to the playoffs, but I understand it as a decision in itself. So
Okay,
that's where I'll leave it.
one thing I have to ask is, how do you keep a guy like Jokic happy now? Like, where do you go from this point? Say because at this time they're locked in with the Clippers 4-5 seed matchup. Say they lose to the Clippers first round, or say they make to the second round, lose to the Thunder. Where do you go from? How do you keep Jokic happy? How do you build off of the roster you have with a new coach, after firing someone who Jokic was seemingly very fond of?
Go to European.
Maybe
Probably.
They could
Probably.
chop it up in Serbian, in Serbian on the sideline.
Yeah.
I don't know. You got to pair him with another player in their prime. So I would say go out for maybe. I'm drawing blanks on young
Trae Young.
guards.
Trae Young.
But do they have the money or the assets to make a trade for that, or
Yeah,
to
like they have
sign
no
anybody?
picks. They have no second round picks. They have just big contracts you can't trade. It's like
Ooh.
this team is stuck in place, and it's not an amazing team.
Yeah.
Keldon Johnson it is, buddy.
Yeah, and even I was seeing reports, and I know we all saw them, about what the owner said about Michael Porter Jr. and never wanting to trade him because of his ties to Mizzou, everything like that. What type of trade package could you even get for a guy like Michael Porter Jr. on the contract he's on? Really?
Right.
Like this is a guy who's shown like history of injury, even though he's been healthy the past 2 years a good bit. He has an injury history. He's a great shooter. Don't get me wrong, but his contract is fat. He has a massive contract. How do you move that? And even if you can, how do you package that with other things or other players? How do you package that
You
with
don't.
other things?
That's the
Yeah,
answer.
I was
You
gonna say,
don't.
I don't think you can move
You
on.
don't.
So what do you gain from this firing, really?
I don't really think they have a lot of direction. They really don't have any direction. They're just really right now. It's just in Jokic we trust, and that's kind of what it seems like it's gonna be for at least another year or two. I don't really know how they'll go up from here. I don't know really know what they will do from here. I feel like it's just gonna be a long time of shortcomings for the coming years, because no one's seeking Michael Porter Jr. in a trade.
Yeah.
Nobody is coming and asking for Jalen Pickett. Nobody is coming in. Maybe somebody like the Bulls or something. Maybe not exactly the Bulls, but some team like that is going to come and ask you for Christian Brown. But like, what packages are you like? I understand exactly what Toby's saying. What are you going to give? Like, what are you going to get? What are you getting from these players? Like, you got no value. You got like empty calories on your roster.
And
I mean, you could probably dump off like a young player like Brown for a pick, but like that's the best you're gonna get.
but like, is that worth?
Because that can
really?
get you the second star
No,
that you need.
it's not. They're dumbasses.
It's just a crazy whole process with them in Denver right now, and I'm really interested to watch them through the playoffs with this new coach, and especially if they do come short, speaking namely in the first round against the Clippers, because the Clippers are very hot right now, what they'll do in the summer.
Great.